What's up, guys? Crypto Savvy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe for daily updates every single day on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and we take a look at the Dow Jones during the week at the end of the video. Yesterday, I talked about a 4-hour gap in the CME. It was right around 3560, 3570, somewhere in there. I'm going to show you how we could possibly get there. I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm just going to show you what I have looked at and how it could be possible. Definitely stick around. Don't forget there's a free Discord group in the description below the video. Definitely check it out and let's get on with it. All right, guys, as always, it's not financial advice, trading advice, none of that. There's a disclaimer scrolling on the bottom. Make sure you read it. And always remember, this is my opinion, not yours. Everybody's super bullish. Everybody thinks, we're going to break that 10.5, which I'm not saying we can't. It's definitely a possibility. We're going to take a look at that. Let's first take a look at the news headlines and see what's going on there. Bitcoin's impending golden cross may bolster bulls, analysts say. Major $800 million Bitcoin and crypto investor reveals something. Will Bitcoin price plunge against the U.S.-China trade war? Bitcoin is right where oil was in 1890. First mover Bitcoin difficulty adjustment feels like a post-halving dump. Bitcoin demands pushes Tether below $1 for longest stretch in Tether history. All right, so a little bit of both bearish and bullish. Can't really tell much from that news. We are at 50 on the Fear and Greed Index. We are the same as yesterday, still in the neutral territory. Let's look at the monthly. So the monthly, these are trend lines we've been watching. If you're not used or you're not familiar with the channel, 93.40, a close above that on the monthly, bullish. A close below 85.50, bearish. And again, this is on the monthly. And in the middle would be neutral. We still have the 55 EMA down here at around the 5100. And then we have this long-term trend line from 2016 all the way down to, well, depending on where we would go, around the $3,600, $3,700 range. Don't forget my wife's webpage, inkerimage.com. Check it out below. It's a good way to help support the channel. And let's look at the weekly. All right, so on the weekly, and definitely stick around, guys, because we're going to take another look at that gap, and I'm going to show you how it's possible we get there. Now, obviously, if we cross that 10.5, it's not going to happen, in my opinion, but we're going to take a look at it. It was yesterday when I was looking at that, I know it's in the 4-hour, and gaps do not have to fill by any means, but they have in the past all the way through since CME opened. So we're going to take a look at that. And it's pretty damn interesting, guys. You might want to check it out. All right. So on the weekly, right here, 10,460 is where we have this trend line. I know a lot of people say we've broken the trend line. We have not. The wicks are what I use here. And as of right now, on the weekly would be 10,460. A break of that, even a wick, anything I would get, that would turn me bullish. Until then, I'm still bearish, guys, with no reason to change unless something changes. But we do have some bullish cases to look at. We have this falling broadening wedge in yellow, and we have a measured move of the break of that, which we did break out above it and are getting support. But again, that doesn't matter to me unless we pass 10,460. But the measured move of that, if we do pass the 10,460, my next area, my target would be around $16,000 range. So keep in mind that is a possibility if we cross above this. If not, we have the lower targets down here from these trend lines, 45.70, 28.45, all the way down to 1,000. Again, guys, you can watch my previous videos. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying we need to watch out for it because it is definitely a possibility if we cannot get above this 10,460. The 200 EMA on the weekly is laying right around the 5,500. Now, this is the RSI we had been watching here. I had said it would be bullish, closing above this, which we have. I do believe we're most likely going to come down and retest it for support. Unless, obviously, we get our huge break of 10,500 and then we come up, test the top of this trend line. And again, that's in the weekly. So But yeah, that's definitely a possibility to get up in these higher ranges if we cross that 10,460. Now let's look at the daily chart. So of course we have the 10,500, which is our last peak here. But if you guys have been watching the channel, you also know we were watching this rising broadening wedge, which we fell out of here, and we didn't quite come to retest it here. If we came straight up today to retest it, it would be right around the 10,480 range. Also, what I'm watching here is that I do want to mention the 55 has crossed the 200 EMA, which is pretty damn bullish. We are getting support on the 8 EMA right now at about 94.70. But I'm still looking at this rising broadening channel, and to come down and retest the bottom of that would be around the 80s. Well, if we came today, it'd be around 86.50, which is also this 0.236 retracement from the swing low to the swing high. And then we have our other targets down here. This one, the 79.81, was looking at this as an ABC. We're also going to take another look at, well, you'll see the triangle up here. But first off, let's look at the retracements. If this is the top here, we have retracement of 86.28, which we just talked about, which would be the bottom of this rising channel. If we fall through that, next target would be 79.81, and then we have our 0.382 fib at 77.03. We have the 0.5 fib at 69.50, and then we have the golden pocket zone around between 6,000 and 6,200. The 0.618 is at 62.23. I still believe we're coming down here, guys, unless, of course, we break that 10.5. I have this target that I've had here forever, the 5,400, still looking at that. 0.786 retracement of this move would be 51.44. Now, if that gap is going to get filled, which again, I'm not saying it's gonna, but I'm gonna show you here in a minute after we look at this 4 hour. As you can see, I have this little triangle drawn up here. But I do want to point out the RSI. Whoops, we did not look at that in a daily. I want to take a look at that in a daily real quick. As you can see, we had this rising channel. We had the falling broadening wedge, which we broke out of here, into a rising broadening wedge, which is usually bearish. Coming down to test the bottom of that would probably be, as of right now, around that 86.50 range. If that breaks, then we're headed down much lower, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at there. Let's look at the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, same thing. EMAs are giving us support. We are actually supported on the 8 EMA here as of the time of making this video, around 96.60. See what happens there. We also have this triangle forming here, but it does look like we're most likely going to get one more test up here to around the $10,000 range, 99.90, 99.80, 10,000, somewhere in there. If that was to break, we could get a measured move all the way up to 10.8, and of course that would be breaking the 10.5. But like I said, hold on one second, and we're going to show you what I believe is more likely. Let's look at the RSI. We have a rising, and this is a 4 hour, guys, rising channel here. We seem to have a falling broadening wedge here. We've been getting rejected at this resistance line. Now, the reason being that I said that we may get another push up, this does look like it seems like it's forming a inverse head and shoulders here for one more test of this. If we get rejected, break the bottom of this, then we go into our bearish case scenario. That's what I'm looking at in the 4 hour. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on these trend lines if you are charting. Get on your 4 hour, put these in there. This is going to be extremely important. This touch right here gave us a clue to short in our chat, and that was right here on this wick. So keep that in mind, guys. It looks like we might come up to have one more test here. If that doesn't break, then obviously if we break the bottom, what is the measured move there? Right down to the bottom of our rising channel, somewhere in that. And it, again, that depends on if and when we break it. But it also line up with the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, right around the 86.50 to 8700 range. So keep that in mind, and let's look at that gap. That gap is at 35.70, the CME gap. And yes, it's only a 4-hour gap, so there's nothing guaranteeing it. But I do have some stuff that's confluent with it, with a little bit of Elliott Wave mixed in, and we're going to take a look at that right now before we get into Litecoin and Ethereum and then the Dow. So, all right, this may get a little confusing here, guys, but try to make it as easy as possible. Elliott Wave theory, everything moves in 5 and 3 wave structures. So let's take a look at this. We're just going to put, do a count here from this. We'll do 1, 2, 3. See, this could be 3, 4, and 5. A lot of people are looking at. This could be 3. This could be 4 forming, and then we're still coming down for 5, and could possibly be down in this range. Now, another way to look at it would be this as a B, C, and the C getting us down to this 35.68. And let me show you how I got that. We'll zoom in a little bit. Let me get that off of here. Get the VR off. All right. So this is what I did up here. If we were looking at this as and I'll show you this count too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're creating 5, and we have the smaller waves within. And 10,250 is right around the range. 10,240, 10,250. And the way I get that is if we took, let me get this off here real quick, just so you guys know how to use this. If we looked at this as wave 1 all the way to here, wave 2, and then this being wave 3 and wave 4, which is often a triangle. Let's take a Fibonacci extension tool, and we'll go from the swing low of 1 to the swing high of 1 to the swing low of 2. And that gets us up to right where this wick landed on the 1.618, which is exactly where it should have landed according to Elliott Wave. Let's get that off of there, and let's measure the wave 5. Let me get all this crap off here, sorry. All right, so on the wave 5, if we start from wave 2, go up to the top of wave 3, to the bottom of wave 4, which if this is wave 4 would be a triangle. And the 0.618, 0.65 zone is right in the 10,200, between 10,200 and 10,260, somewhere in this range. That would be the 5th wave before continuing down. Now, here's the interesting thing. Let me get the RSI off there. This is where it gets pretty damn interesting, guys. So if we looked at this as an A, a B, and then we're going to form C, what we would do is take the Fibonacci extension from the swing high to the swing low, if this is B, and then to that $10,200 range. And the 1-to-1 extension is how you would get your ABC. And where does that land? Right at 35.68. And our gap is right here, 35.70. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen, guys. I'm saying beware of it because it does match up pretty damn good. Now, let's go into Litecoin. All right, Litecoin. So we have this rising channel, which we've been playing on the bottom trend line now. We are still on top of the EMAs over here, but it does look like we're about to break down again, guys. And the Fibonacci retracement zone is around 34.96. Now, what would happen if we did the same thing with, if Bitcoin went down to fill that gap? Where would Litecoin go? Could be right in here. We had major support and resistance around 22. We could get down all the way to $10 if possible. But guys, bullish case, we come up to this 54. Retest the top of this. Actually, it would be more like 56 to retest the top of this trend line here. But again, guys, I'm pretty damn bearish here. I don't believe it's going to happen. We could come up and retest this blue trend line, I suppose. And that would be the area to break where I would get a little more bullish on Litecoin if we broke the 49.13, which is this trend line here. We do have room to get up there in the RSI and get one more test to the top of this channel. So it is a possibility we get up to that area. But a break of that area, you know, depending on like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin passes 10.5, we could definitely be heading quite a ways up with Litecoin. I had these moved a little bit, but these are the retracements of this swing low to swing high. The golden pocket area would be around the 61.77, 0.786, 71.75. Again, guys, I don't believe we're going to get up to these levels, but I could be wrong. Oh, don't forget, if you're interested in trading, I'm going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. It's by far my favorite exchange now. I also use Bybit and Dudex. I have links to them down below. Definitely check them out. The Prime XBT, I have a promo code Savvy50. You get a 50% on top of whatever you deposit up to 1 Bitcoin. And then Savvy25 will get you 25% off your trading fees for a month. Also, remember, don't get in, do crazy high leverage. Always use stop losses, and don't put in more than you're willing to lose, guys. It is dangerous trading high leverage, but, you know, trading's been around forever. I know a lot of people bash it, but trading is what makes the markets, guys. But anyways, so that's where I'm at with all that. Ethereum, my high that I see as a possibility here, which I don't believe it's going here, but the 0.786 retracement of the swing high to swing low is 247. If we have topped out here, looking at the Fibonacci retracements, we have 175 is a 0.5 fib, 0.386, and the 0.5 is 158. Golden pocket zone 142. If Bitcoin was to hit those lower lows, we could go as low as 47. But again, guys, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying definitely check it out. I know people are going to be bashing it and saying it's impossible. This is Bitcoin, guys. Anything's possible. But we were also looking at this falling broadening wedge here, and the measured move of that wedge on Ethereum is around the $247 range. It's definitely a possibility, guys, but I don't think we're going to get that high. We could get one more bounce up to this, but if we fall out of the bottom of this rising wedge here, guys, we're headed down. Pre-market for the Dow. The Dow is down 69 points. Actually, it's not pre-market. It's open now. Sorry, guys. This video was late, but let's just take a look at the targets here. We are above the 55 EMA on the daily. I do have the target of 25.6 points, and that's also the 200 EMA on the daily, and would also be retesting this rising channel. The measured move of the fallout of this rising channel was 21. So as high as I see us possibly going, and there's no guarantee we even get up there, is 25.6. That would also line up with this top trend line here on the Dow. So we have broken out of the falling broadening wedge, but getting up to that, what was it, 25.6, could get us up to retest this one more time before plummeting. I do definitely think we're going to see some lower lows, way lower lows in the stock market. I do think this is all fake, getting people to put their money in their 401ks so they can take it all again like they did in this drop. But this drop's going to be more severe. Don't know when it's coming, guys. Could be this month, could be next month. It's going to happen. Economy is going to catch up to this, and people are going to realize how screwed up the world is at the moment, in my opinion. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about that gap. Is it possibly going to get filled? Is it impossible? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the channel by clicking the Crypto Savvy logo above my head. Have an awesome day, guys. Take it easy, and I'm out.